Hi everyone. So as you can see, I am finally done traveling for a while and I am back in Alaska. Super excited to be home. It has been quite cold here. Okay, that's good. My heater just turned off, which is appropriate because it's quite loud. And I'm really happy because I'm finally back with all of my oracle cards that I really like to use. I like having access, and when I was traveling I only had my one. So ones that I use a lot are Past Life deck. That's from Doreen Virtue, which she no longer likes to take credit. I can honor that. But Brian Weiss is long time helpful in the past life world. Denise Linn, Native Spirit. This is another one that I really, really love. She has taught me so much about, well, everything from dream interpretation, which I love teaching and doing for other people, and also with clearing, space clearing. I utilize a lot of her techniques. Wisdom of the Oracle is another one from Colette Baron Reid that I use a lot, along with her map deck. Sandra Ann Taylor, Energy Oracle. And a new deck that I haven't really used all that much yet this year is Colette Baron Reid's Crystal Spirits. So those are the decks that I currently have, and I figured now that I am finally back settled and I'm not moving around from place to place, I can get back into my Monday motivation. And I will say too that I posted something the other day because when I was traveling in Iceland, Archangel Metatron was like, you should do a special where you offer these two different choice options for readings, because I do get quite a few people that like to have, whether it be a weekly or a monthly kind of reading. And I've never done this before, but he was like, offer one that people can get maybe like 1 to 3 cards that are read for them. And you can choose the topic for $33. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So what I can do is, if you pick a specific topic, or if you just want to get whatever your highest self or angels and guides, what kind of message they have for you at that time, your choice, then I'll pull, anywhere between 1 to 3 cards. It really just depends on what your spirit guides want. And then I'll do an email that has those cards in them. It'll have the descriptions from the books in them, and then any other special messages that are meant for you. So, and I'd never done that before, like an emailed version of a card reading. And then what I did is I made my normal consult reading $55. So I thought that was pretty cute. And you can go onto my website and purchase the consult. And to get the $33 email version, you type in the code EARTH, and it's all capital letters under the discount code or coupon code. And then to receive the one for $55, which is a Zoom reading, then you put in the word sky. And if you have any trouble on my website, the best way to do it is once you click on the consult, click on add to cart. If you see something that says Google Pay, just bypass that. I'm not really sure why that's an option. I did not choose that, but just hit add to cart, and then you can just use a credit card. And then once you sign up for the reading, then within 24 hours, I send you an email that asks a few more questions that I need in order to make sure that if you're doing it for yourself or if you're doing it for someone else. And yeah, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that, but if you have questions, you're more than welcome to email me or message me. And so let's get down to today. What kind of messages do we have for our group this week? And I want to see, what deck do you guys want me to? They keep taking me to the Native Spirit deck. So I'm going to go ahead and set these other decks aside. And we're going to pull a Native Spirit deck card. So asking for the message for our group, 55 Steps to the Light, a collective message for our 55 Steps to the Light group today, asking my angels and guides, everyone that will be seeing this post, this video, their angels and guides, if y'all would collectively like to come forward and bring us a message for today, what would that be? What would that be? Spirit of fire. Okay, Spirit of fire. So let's look at, there's a lot of snow outside and the temperature went up enough today that the trees are letting go of the 2 feet of snow that had fallen. And so I looked out because there was just a waterfall of snow that was coming down off the tree. It kind of caught my attention. Okay, Spirit of fire. Spirit of fire. Okay, card meeting. Transformation. Take risk. Face your fears. Break out of old patterns and conventions. Just because you've always done something in the past doesn't mean that you need to continue to do it in the future. Try something new. Change your routines and habits. Reach out in new directions. The Thunderbird is rising in you. Out of the ashes comes new growth and new beginnings. Your native spirit wants you to know, in native cultures, fire was thought to be a gift from Creator that carried the power of renewal. Fire can maintain life. It can destroy it. It is the warmth of the tribal fire, and it's also the thundering lightning bolt cast down from the sky. It can purify and transform. It can annihilate. Fire represents your life force, the spark of life within you, and also the pure white light within you. The Spirit of fire invites you to take some risk and face your fears. We often are reacting to situations because of preconditioned responses based on our self-generating definition of self. Every time you change an old habit, even changing to a different breakfast food, it helps you begin to step out of a limiting definition of self. Purification by fire creates transformation. Take care and keep your energy in balance. Fire that burns too brightly burns out, but a fire that is left to smolder dies. Let's see, the journey. When you first awaken in the morning, focus on the emerging sunlight. Imagine that you are breathing in that light. Gaze unblinkably into a candle flame and focus your awareness on the inner flame within you. By doing this, you're activating the spirit of fire that dwells within you and around you. Imagine yourself to be a single candle flame, a campfire, a forest fire, electricity, lightning, the sun, and stars. And affirm this: may the light of the sun illuminate my heart, that my heart may illuminate the world. What a beautiful message. As I'm reading that, I could feel Spirit bringing about so many of the words that Denise Linn wrote in here into the forefront of my mind. And I know I can relate to a lot of what she said here, especially right now. And chances are maybe you do too. So out of everything that I read, I'm going to see. I'm going to just tap into my guides again and just see if there's anything else. I mean, she said so many things that really resonated for me, and see how they want to elaborate on some of those things. The first thing that's really coming to my mind is, you know how she was saying something about even just changing something simple. It's about stepping out and doing something new, trying something new and different, even if you have like a normal default that you do every day. And she said even changing like a breakfast food. What comes to my mind is when we make changes like that, it's something that you have to put forth conscious effort to do. It's so easy to fall back into your autopilot mode. And in that autopilot mode, we see change as being time consuming or not convenient. So you have to actually change your perception first around the idea of making a change. So, and she also mentioned about like standing in the sun and pulling it inside. That's what really resonated with me, because every morning, I started this about maybe a year ago, that when I wake up in the morning, I do a little yoga, stretching, a little Tai Chi, because if you are not doing Tai Chi or Qigong also, incredibly beneficial as a wake up for your day and getting the energy and balance in your body. These are forms of self-care. And I know that that might be a trigger word for a lot of people, self-care, but I'm here to tell you that it starts with you. If you want to be in harmony with everything outside your door today, it begins with you. What do you do for you to bring you in balance first? And then it will domino effect outward from you. So I do my little yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, and then I ground myself. And even if the sun isn't out, I look in the direction. I find my body moving into the direction that the sun is, even though I might not be able to see it. And I breathe it into my heart center. And it always goes and expands through the solar plexus. And I feel the energy of my body nourishing when I do that. So that was one of the main things that I felt Spirit bring into the forefront of my mind when I was reading these. Let's see what else stands out to me that might be helpful for some of you to hear. Yeah, so the other thing that stood out was when she was talking about just because you did something in the past doesn't mean that you need to continue to do it in the future. This kind of also, I hear Spirit also talking about false beliefs, things that you think are in your best interest, but they're actually not. I think it's important now more than ever to really begin practicing discernment if you're not already. And that's a matter of stepping into your heart center and asking your heart how it feels about something in particular. Maybe it's a food that you're eating. Maybe it's a relationship that you have. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it has to do with your intentions. Maybe it has to do with how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself. These types of things are incredibly important to come from the perspective of your heart, because if you come from the perspective of your mind, then your ego mindset is involved and it doesn't necessarily care about how you feel. Its job is to take care of you. And when it takes care of you, it tells you everything. That means it tells you the good, the bad, the up and the down, the happy and the sad. It tells you everything. Everything it can remember, right? And that, in my opinion, over all of these years, since 2012 that I woke up, I have had to pay attention to when my mind wants to jump in and speak what it remembers. And then I have to separate myself from that as an observer, okay, and go, okay, now what does my heart have to say? Sonia Coquette is a fantastic teacher about learning how to understand and listen to these two mindsets. So if you've not watched her, I highly recommend that. But when you can go into your heart only speaks truth. It is always thinking about your best intention. Again, your ego is just its job is to give you the information. Your heart is to speak truth, to give you insight, inspiration, motivation. It's not going to lie to you. It's not going to say something that, oh, I hope you feel better. It's just going to tell you exactly what you need. So if you have got certain things that you've been doing in the past and you realize that there is some type of disharmony in that, then I highly encourage you to ask your heart, what is the perspective that I'm missing? What is it that I'm not seeing? Is there something else that could be more beneficial to me at this time? And if so, please show me what it is. And then just be open to it. And here's the other thing I hear Spirit saying. If you find yourself looking for new opportunities, answers, resolution, always be willing to pay attention and observe the things that trigger you, because it's in the triggering that we find is where it's revealing what needs to be resolved. And I'll say that again. It's in the things that trigger you that reveal what it is that needs to be resolved. So if you've been triggered quite a bit lately, then you want to ask yourself, what's triggering me? And then ask yourself, is that something about myself that I realize needs to shift? And then ask your higher self, ask your heart center to help you with that shifting. So, okay. What a beautiful message. I hope that you guys, let me show you that one more time. Spirit of Fire today. This is Denise Linn, Native Spirit Oracle deck. She's fantastic. I just love her. What a great message. All right, everyone. Like I said, if you want to do a personal private reading with me, I have email ones available for $33 USD and Zoom ones for $55 USD. And I'm really excited to be home so I can settle in for the winter and help you guys out, giving you messages that especially if you have trouble in interpreting the messages, then that's where I kind of come in and help you out. All right, have a beautiful week. Love you. Bye.